Are you tired of YouTube videos that tell you to divorce your wife, leave your kids, chuck your job, shave your head and start dropshipping rare turtles from the pristine stream in the woods that you now camp beside? And then this advice promises you'll be in a Lambo within 12 months, but you still haven't done your creative thing, have you? So it's no surprise to me that deep down, that advice doesn't make sense to you. So then stop watching the quick sugary pill of top 10 ways to do something complex really easily. You haven't been able to achieve your creative thing with your current actions. And now you're getting some awareness that you're going to have to approach things differently, or abandon your creative thing. Give up completely. Don't give up hope. Don't abandon your creative thing. Now, how do you think that your day job interacts with your creative thing? Do you see your day job as a time block that you can't create in? A time block that's exclusive of your creative thing and not integrated in how you will achieve your creative thing, the thing that you haven't done yet? So here is the truth. The attitude with which you approach your day job has a direct correlation to whether or not you will go on to achieve your creative thing. Bad attitude to your day job? Well, guess what? You'll stay where you are, wondering why it's not happening, and you really need to watch all the way to the end. Good attitude to your day job? Well, you can progress much quicker, and in fact, you are likely poised to leap into your creative thing. I'll explain more. So we are humans, and we can choose our mindset. By and large, whatever your lot in life, you can wake up and choose to be positive or negative. It all comes down to actively choosing your mindset. Now, I'm older. I've been through a lot. I've been up and I've been down, and mostly you can choose your mindset. No, I didn't want to acknowledge mindset as a way to achieve my creative thing, which was writing a book. I was always wanting the quick sugary pill of watching those videos, top 10 ways to write a book easily, or top 10 ways to write a bestseller this weekend. How to get your creative thing done without really doing the work. Only you and I both know that it's largely a waste of time. You get an energy hit that lasts 5 minutes, and then it's on to the next pump-up video. You really need strategies that help you in the long term. Hi, I'm Dusty, and one of the biggest challenges throughout my life is feeling like I was a creative person who could write a book, only for 30 years I never did. But then recently, I actually did it. I did my creative thing. I wrote that book. In fact, I wrote it in 6 months. Now, I'm using AI to help me read and present the book on YouTube, and I'm also writing the second book in the series. I've made significant progress in my life because of specific changes that I made to my habits and the way that I was trying to approach my creative thing. I wanted to make some videos so I could also get you to do your creative thing. So I was in the supermarket the other week thinking about this video, and I asked one of the staff members there where the tomato sauce was, and I got waved off like some sort of annoying fly. Back of aisle 6, the guy said. I got down there and the sauce was in a different aisle. Kind of annoying. But anyway, it was more the customer experience and how he just didn't care about even just directing me to where the sauce was. And this was so different to a few days before when I couldn't find something and a really helpful staff member walked me to the exact spot in the aisle and helped me find that specific item with a smile. And I started people watching. When you go into the same supermarket a little bit and you start to get to know the staff in there, and you start to pick up on the ones that absolutely hate their jobs, they detest being there, and the ones that are super engaged, the ones that just enjoy their job no matter what. This got my mind ticking, and I started watching the different personalities on the checkout where they're somewhat captive. They're stuck there dealing with all the customers one after the other. And I observed these two people, one really engaged and happy and smiling and interacting, and one that was just seething with anger, hating every customer interaction that they went through. Transport yourself to your local supermarket. I know that you can picture these two different personality types at work. The disgruntled checkout person just clearly hated their job. You could feel the anger radiating from them. It seems like the world owes them. They hate everything. They only bring half an effort to work, and they're definitely the path of most resistance. Every task is an issue, and they devote a ton of energy to going slow and working out ways of not doing it. In fact, they spend more energy working out ways to not do the thing than it would have taken to actually just do the thing. Then there's the person who's a delight to deal with. Have you ever been through the supermarket checkout and thought, wow, this person is doing a lower paid job, yet they're really happy and engaged. It's that repetitive public interaction where people just can't hide their feelings. If you can go to your local supermarket and stand there for a little bit, you'll see these two different personality types at work. Now here's how this affects us. You can't go into work and be a negative non-contributor and then leave work and go home and flip the switch. You can't flip the switch to nice guy and then flip it again to creative guy. I see you nodding. You know that this is true. Now hold these two different supermarket workers in your mind. I want you to think about how you show up to your workplace and the energy that you put in and what you get back out of it. I think a lot of people have a dissatisfying relationship with work whereby they put in the minimum effort to get by and then feel angry that the workplace doesn't give back more than what they gave. Things just don't work like that, people. It's a business where the owner or the company takes the product of your energy and charges a multiple on that. That's how they make money, whether it's a mental or physical service that you provide. So reset your expectations back to the first principles of business and let's start again. Because giving energy to the business is, in a strange way, in today's modern world, giving energy to yourself. Now, let me explain. I want to reframe your thinking as approaching your workplace in the form of showing up wholly and completely and contributing in a meaningful way and taking some weight upon your shoulders. Why is this important? Well, we're talking about you doing your creative thing, right? The thing that you've been unable to achieve. You see, it's impossible to create from a place of turmoil because of your conscious effort to not put in any effort or not enough effort. You choose. Which one is it? You're just not going to be creative. It's just not going to happen. There is too much friction, and the constant cycling thoughts of not doing your creative thing only add to this negative state that you struggle to exit. So the idea is this: show up to work wholly and completely and engage. The universe will provide back to you, but not in a hocus pocus way. You will generate your own returns through an improved mindset. You'll generate returns through engagement. Now, if you operate through the lens of negativity, what happens is that you take that negativity back to your family and it seeps into your life. You think you're killing it, ripping off the system. You're really just ripping yourself off. You'll never rise above a certain level where you work because, consciously or subconsciously, your fellow workers and your bosses have written you off. You know that people always want hope, whether that's the way that they're managed, in projects, being promoted. They always want hope. The negative non-contributor offers no hope, and in fact is a person that others try to avoid, lest they be sucked into the negative non-contributor's vortex of doom. And you know, in the context of the supermarket workers that we were talking about before, hope could be as simple as one of them thinking, I hope this person works cooperatively with me today because we've got to stack boxes onto the shelves together all day. Or I just want to make small talk while we stack these shelves. I did something really exciting on the weekend and I just want to tell someone about it. More likely it's something like, I hope this person cheers up because the customers are actively avoiding their checkout, which is making my line longer. This is unfair. I'm taking on some of their workload because they're just radiating hate. The positive person shows up to work wholly and completely and participates and engages. So take on challenges and try your hardest. You really do become the last person to be fired in tough times because you're sort of at the middle of, an interconnected web. You become one of those persons that's meshing other people together. And you can apply these principles in your day job right now. You could watch this video, choose to be positively affected, and apply these principles in your day job straight away. It's a slow burn, but within months, and certainly within a year, the benefits of being positive in your day job will begin to flow to you. In the early days, they're unlikely to be money, but it will be other things that you value. Things such as flexibility in your job, and challenge and responsibility. You'll have a stable work environment, and management is likely to chase you down for some professional development. Remember, training at work is a reward. You'll get some peer recognition, and you will actually become one of the people that influence the organizational culture. In fact, you'll start to define it. In time, these things turn into money and the ability to take your services elsewhere if you aren't looked after in the medium term. Now, I used to manage a garbage depot with 55 men and 25 trucks. As you might well imagine, This is a place of very, very direct feedback. Let me tell you about the garbage industry, and then let me tell you about one of the men. The people who empty your bins are a wonderful bunch of people. I met a lot of people that I will never forget, but there is a constant tension because a lot of them live their lives close to the edge. Now, they're not all like that, so please don't take me as tarring everybody with the same brush. But the churn of 55 staff members was quite unbelievable. The turnover was just constant. You know, if you wind up flipping bins for a living, you've probably made some bad life choices after school. But Mick, let's call him Mick, not his real name, but let's call him Mick for the sake of this story. Mick had decided, if I'm going to be here and I'm going to be a garbo, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to be the best garbo that I can. I'm going to make a career out of this. And he did. He showed up every day on time, 0 sickies. He knew his run back to front and everybody else's. He did any extras that I asked for. He absolutely hammered out his run, and he was hard on other staff, demanding that they reach up to his standard. Now, he had a checkered history with jail time. How do you think that I treated him? Like a criminal or like a valuable person? I treated him like the high-value staff member that he was. He got paid extra. He got to drive the newest, nicest truck. He got to pick his run, and he got to pick the runners that rode on the back of the truck. Through excelling and hammering it out, he got to set the job up how he wanted it. Now, nobody is irreplaceable, but I shudder to think what my job would have been like without Mick. You know, as a manager, you really rely on the Micks of the world, and you just find ways to get them paid and sorted with extras in comparison to their lower performing peers. Think back to the example of the negative checkout worker. We can all easily relate to how their negativity affects their ability to do their creative thing. But pay attention, because the opposing forces push hard in the opposite direction. There's significant upside for the positive person. Whether you're the lower paid checkout person or in a better paid job, the positive person takes home emotions too. A soft, subtle tornado, slowly spiraling upwards. A definite feeling of wind beneath your wings. When you're able to deal with family, friends, and life from a positive mindset from the get-go, and that's just your default mode, well then life just builds and builds. Now, positivity may not be as obvious as negativity. It's more of a subtle energy. Like watching house foundations being built, it might take a little while to get out of the ground. You're going to have to give out positive energy without thought of receiving. But if you're coming home from work on a higher plane, you're going to be in a much better position to do that. And then next morning, you'll start from a higher plane again, and so on and so forth. Things will spiral upwards. Now, it takes a while to turbocharge. I want you to move to the mindset where you're going to give and give and give, and be okay with not receiving too much for at least 12 months. If you applied the concepts that we've been discussing, I think you'll receive positive energy much sooner than that. But be okay with 12 months. Remember, any success that you have today is likely a result of what you did 3 months ago. And let me tell you that it's profound and quite emotional when you receive some positive energy from someone and you correlate it with some positive energy that you gave quite some time ago. Go to work tomorrow and be the best version of you. Today's discussion was influenced by a book called Linchpin by Seth Godin. If you liked our chat, you will also like this book. Stay thinking and do your creative thing.